Hello, hello. Welcome. It's Monday. It's not Monday. It's Thursday, May 11th, 2023. This is going to be episode 30 in the Twitter Spaces series, the playlist on my YouTube channel. I've been uploading. I'm trying to get caught up because I'm going to be doing a bunch of new spaces this month and YouTube streams. And so I'm catching up 27, 28, 29. This will be 30. And I think I have 2 or 3 more that I need to upload rather. But while you're here, go to my YouTube, Cheds Trading. Check out the masterclass tutorials, the market updates, free version of my book, Trading Wisdom, available on Amazon. The reviews are great. Thank you for that. I published Trading Quotes last December. The reviews are great for that as well. Just a reminder, I'm a founding analyst at Bitcoin Live. I do a twice a week full market update. I haven't missed a report in over 4 years. It's part of a wonderful team. And when you join, you get access to all the content, not just the stuff from me. Check out the public blog and see the free stuff to get a sense of what that is before you join. My March 13th report is there for you as well. So I'm going to be hanging out here in the background while we play this, and I'll be back at the end, folks. So thank you. Here we go. Ask me anything market updates where I get to hear from you and we talk about the market. You ask me honest questions. I give you my honest, open opinions. I'm not always right, but I'll try to be as right as possible. I have a lot of fun. If you enjoy these, go to my YouTube channel. Check out the playlist called Twitter Spaces. I eventually upload them. I'm a few behind, but there's 26 of those up there right now. While you're at there, by the way, I'm the author of Trading Wisdom, 50 Lessons Every Trader Should Know. That book's available for free, a free version of it, rather, on my YouTube channel at Cheds Trading. You can also get it on Amazon. And I published a book in December, Trading Quotes, which is my third published book. More in the works. I'm a founding analyst at Bitcoin Live, which is the best-in-class educational platform for crypto. I do it twice a week. Full market update. I've actually attached a free. My Sunday report is free, so that's in one of the tweets at the top of the spaces. There's also some links to like textbook recommendations and learning blog and all that good stuff. And of course, this space is sponsored by BingX. It's an excellent exchange. You can trade crypto, forex, commodities, indices, and they've added some stocks too. You can trade recently. The information is on the tweet I put out. Actually, I'll attach that right now, just so that's here as well. So, folks, what I want to hear from you today. It's not really about me just talking. I mean, I have a lot of stuff to say, but it's much more interesting when you kind of come right up and ask me your questions, and that's more fun. So, I already see some people getting started. I will bring you up. Please wait until I call you. And then we'll get you in. But there's a button there in the bottom left. It's like a request to speak button, and it's really just about the conversation between me and you. So don't be shy, especially if you've never spoken before. I would encourage you to give it a shot and to hit that little button there to come up and speak. So it's Saturday afternoon. Haroon, please wait till I unmute you, buddy. It's Saturday afternoon. And so most of the world, at least Europe should be awake now. I want to get you folks in here as well. I normally do these later, so it's nice to have a kind of an earlier one on the Saturday. Hit that request to speak and join the conversation. Let's go first up. We'll go with Gully. You were first, Mac. Gully.
How are you, man? It's nice to be up here again talking to you.
Yeah, how's it going?
Good. So, are we looking? So, like, is it an important level to look for, like, the weekly candle? Like, let's say you're looking at it like that 25.5 range essentially, and if it closes, say, around there, a little below, that would obviously put a huge wick on the weekly candle. If that were to be the case, let's say, are you looking for it to maybe, correct back to, say, the 200 daily MA, or what would be your sort of game plan from there?
I mean, it's a little bit of mixed signals, but we'll start with the weekly time frame. I think if we close above 25.5, I think that pretty much puts the bottom in. because that would confirm a recapture of that key horizontal level may support the highs of August, and the highs of February, and getting back up above that would be critical, and closing back up above the 50, and the 50 and the 200. So that's a big deal. There are signs like in the daily chart, right, with that we've got some OBV divergence, and that usually indicates that there's a little bit of a correction to come. So there's a little bit of a mixed signals, but I think we can't under. I think we really should gear our weighting, our analysis towards the weekly and where it closes. So, I mean, if we close like 26.5, really, really strong. If we start to close like 25K or below, I'd be a little bit more concerned. And then maybe I'd be looking at that daily MA 200. But for right now, we're just seeing really it looks like bottom is in where we are right now. But I'd wait. I'm going to wait. There's a tweet I'll put out after the weekly close that I'm kind of waiting for. Waiting to see. I'd like to see us close up above here, ideally above like 26K to give me some confidence. So, I don't think let's not look too far ahead. Let's not try to do too many if thens at this point. Let's just wait and see how the candle closes. But we are seeing a lot of strength. And just the fact that we're trading above the weekly 200 and looking to close above it, I mean, that's a big deal. So I think you have to be pretty comfortable as a bull. It doesn't mean that we won't get retracements or consolidation, and you'd want to be a buyer. You'd want to be a buyer at like the weekly EMA 8, that type of thing, or even like a throwback to the 200 on the weekly at this point. So I guess that's how I would answer that.
Awesome, man. Thanks a lot, and I appreciate all you do, man. You're one of my better
Thanks.
followers, and you have a very rational mindset for the technical analysis. It really helps.
Yeah, I think you have to. I mean, it's because it's the market will just find a way to shake you out of your position, and trying to be as much apathetic about it and just analytical will help you. But when I start to get into a big trade, I mean, I get as biased as the next guy, so I have to kind of watch that. So, but it just helps with practice, and just we've seen Bitcoin now. I've been tracking it really just day in and day out for more than 5 years, so I just feel pretty comfortable with it. So appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care, man.
Cheers, folks. Come on, let's get a line of people to speak. We've got only 235 people and only 2 who want to speak. I know there's more of you who'd love to come up and talk, and we can ask a question. Maybe I'll ask you a question, and we'll make it a conversation. Next up, we have Cotterface. What is up?
Hey, how's it going, man? Something came up. Can you skip me for a second? Just go to the next person.
Yeah.
I'll hang out. I really
Cool.
appreciate it.
Yeah, I'll mute you real quick. Let's go for my man Haroon.
Hey there, Cheds. How are you?
Good. How you been? How's the family? Everything good?
I'm good, thanks. It's been long to speak to you, but I'm glad finally I'm having you. So, tell me
Wasn't that long. I talked to you like a month ago.
Yes, approximately, because here because of time zone, here it's night, and in the US it's morning, so that's the reason why we couldn't speak.
Well, it's great to have you. So what's going on, bud?
Just want to ask for those who have missed the bottom and who haven't bought in spot or haven't long anything. What is your advice to them? And now that we have seen that 25.5 has been flipped, do you think that the bear market is over, or it's the start of the new bull rally?
Couple questions. So the second one I just answered. Really, I'm waiting to see this candle close. I think if we close 26K or above, I think bottom's definitely in. But I'm going to wait because we've often seen volatility leading into weekly candle closes, and if we put in like a big wick, if between now and tomorrow, we dropped like $3,000, then I'd say okay, we got to wait and see a little bit. But if we close anywhere around here, I mean, you got to think bottom is in. If you're a bull and you haven't got in yet, I think you have to wait. I think you have to wait for some type of retracement. We just had one on the weekly. It dropped all the way down to 19.5, bounced off the daily MA 200. I think you have to wait for like a daily EMA 8 retracement or something. If you're a bull, like you want to buy a dip in an uptrend. You can't just buy. I don't think you can buy here. There was all these other times to buy, 18.5, the daily MA 200, the 21.5 when it broke 20. There's all these opportunities below here. I think now you need, because you want to buy in a little bit of a dip. You want to have a little bit of a retracement and consolidation, right? Because think about like a bull flag. Even a bull flag, it will pause and we'll do that kind of downward channel before continuing, and that allows, and for those who are listening don't kind of think about it, but it just allows things to reset and to cool off. So I wouldn't be a buyer here. I think you have to be a little bit cautious here because we're kind of bumping up against 28K, 28.5. We're bumping up kind of towards the lows of that. Remember that 80-day rectangle from the summer of 2021, and where we paused and consolidated in May. So you need to buy in a dip. And so that answers the first question, and answered the second question first, which is we need to wait and see where the weekly candle closes. Okay.
So do you see any possibility of retesting 22.5 or 21.5 or 19.5
Yeah,
again?
let's see. Well, ask me after the weekly candle closes. That will give us a lot more information. Okay.
Okay, right, great. Thank
Thank
you,
you,
sir.
brother.
Thank you.
All right, good to see you. Let's try to get Cromage. I tried to get you back up. Cotterface, if you're ready, go ahead.
Yeah, I really appreciate it.
Lining up. Yo.
So my question is about alt season. By the way, I really appreciate you. I've been following for a long time. So
Thanks,
people
buddy.
talk about just the order of everything, and after Bitcoin goes Ethereum and then altcoins. And
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
let me tell you everyone a story real quick, super quick, so you kind of understand where my question came from. I thought I was super smart yesterday, and I did something really awesome. So lately, in the past several months, every single time we start to get a nice little bull spike or something, my alts are flying. And then as soon as Bitcoin slows down, finds its spot, even starts to go perfectly sideways, my alts are just crashing and burning immediately. And I was like, okay, this time, as soon as Bitcoin hits that top and it starts to slow down and shows some signs of settling or reversing, I'm just gonna short the crap out of these alts. And you guys saw what
Which
happened.
one? Just in general, all of them, or just you have, because you want to be shorting the weaker alts that have bounced, not the stronger alts,
Well,
right?
basically, what I'm getting
Go
at,
ahead.
is what I chose to do based on what I've seen before is when Bitcoin hits, even if it goes sideways, these alts just tank. So what I did right when Bitcoin capped, I immediately started,
Yeah.
instead of going long, I started shorting. And all you guys
Yeah.
probably saw what happened. Literally minutes, like 15 minutes, all these alts had their biggest gains of the whole day. And I was just like, oh
Yeah.
my God. So the actual order of when the alts hit and kind of why they hit, because it hasn't been that way in so much of this bear cycle. But I guess now that we're bullish, maybe that's what's going to happen. I'm kind of confused about the order of these things.
Correct. Right. So if it's a bear, like a bearish, when the bears are clearly in control and we have like a relief rally, like think about like May, like that May 12th low of last year, and then we kind of bounced and eventually rejected. Like when Bitcoin pauses after a relief rally, then usually alts will go down. But like when it's continuation consolidation mode right now. Like bulls have the edge right now, so you're going to see money flows from Bitcoin, Ethereum into alts, and then kind of when Bitcoin's done consolidating, those alts will roll back into Bitcoin. If I'm shorting a weak alt, if I'm shorting any altcoins right now, I want it to be a weaker one, an underperformer, right? I want it to be one of the worst looking alts. Like I'm not shorting stronger alts because they're more likely to continue. I want to see charts that have been weaker that just bounced because that's kind of an abnormality. It's a movement against the trend. And so I would be selective. And I get I get how you came in and I get your approach, but this is bull mode where Bitcoin bounces, pauses, then alts run. And then when Bitcoin's done consolidating, the alt money rolls back into Bitcoin.
Gotcha. And when
but you don't always know either. It's also not always 1-to-1 too. It's not always like a clear formula. So you have to always be ready for the market to like try to screw you.
Yeah, and speaking of getting screwed, it's so ironic that was the first and only time I did that. And like I said, I thought I was super smart. Like I was like, oh hell yeah, I caught it right near the top. I'm so glad I was available at the
Yep.
time. And then I thought I was
Yeah.
super smart for shorting, and I just got wrecked. And I was like, oh my God, I lost all my gains for the day. It was brutal.
Yeah.
But real quick on something you just now said, you mentioned if you're going to short an alt, you're going to find a weaker performer. And something that I saw a long time ago from one of these really great traders I follow was at the time it made a lot of sense, but it said find the lagging altcoin, buy the lagging altcoin. Basically, everything is going to get its turn, sort of. So with that said, sometimes what I do,
I don't like that. Yeah, I don't like that.
I totally get it. There's a lot of information behind that for sure. Lots of angles on it.
Yeah.
What I was gonna say was, if something has been going so hardcore, it's up 60% for the day, and
Yeah.
it makes you feel like you probably want to short it. And if you short something that's
Hmm.
really not performing very well, it seems like you're
Yeah.
probably going to miss out on when it finally does rally. So it's kind of confusing about that.
So here's the concept. It's relative strength, right? So like when everything is dumping, right, but some stuff is holding up better, right? That has relative strength. So that means when the market turns, that's the stuff you want to be going long on. All right. When everything is bouncing, but some stuff is lagging, right? Those are the ones that's relative weakness. Those are the ones you want to target for shorting when they bounce. And the best setups there are clear underside retests. So for example, coin whatever has support at 100 and it holds it for a while, then it loses it and it goes down to like 40 or 50. And then when it bounces from 50 back to 100, that's what you short, because you're shorting one that had been weaker beforehand and had an underside, a test of broken support from below. And so you get the cleanest shorts are on weaker charts that have just bounced. I do not like the idea that buy the laggards. It just goes against what I've learned. I've studied professionally. Like trends tend to continue, and classical charting teaches us you want to be trading with the trend. So you look for weak charts that have bounced and you fade that move. Look for strong charts that have dipped and you long that move, right? You expect trends to continue. It's not 100%, but usually they will. So you have to kind of go with what's most likely.
Got it. I really appreciate the
All
clarity
right.
on that.
Yeah, it's not clear. Yeah, no doubt. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate the questions. All right. Take care today. Thanks for stepping up, folks. I'll try to get you all in the conversation. While you're here, take a look at the pinned tweets in the nest, links to a free report, and just great information. Also, just check it out. Good stuff for you. Khalid, man, it's good to see you, buddy. I'd like to hear how
How
you're
you
doing.
doing, bro? Good seeing you, man. It's been a
Good.
while.
You catch me up.
Yeah,
Catch me
yeah.
up on what's going on.
Well, good things and bad things a little bit. Good things, I did load up the shit out of everything when we had the drop to 19,700. I really caught
Mm-hmm.
that one, and I did load up a lot of
Good
Bitcoin,
job.
Ethereum, and everything. But
Yeah.
my previous TA calculation to sell a big chunk at 23, which is I did, which is because it's been a kind of resistance area. So I sold
Yeah.
around 30% of everything with the expectation that we're gonna roll down and we're gonna drop probably a new low, or all the jazz that. But I kept some of the
Yep.
position, and my ultimate goal was around 24,900 to be like a front runner, and instead of the 25, it might be like a big sale area. So I sold
Mm-hmm.
everything around 25.
Everything. Why you didn't even leave? You didn't even leave a
Bro,
piece,
not
huh?
even not even a thing. Other than whatever I have hold, I only hold, by the way, two things. Well, three things:
Yeah.
Bitcoin, Ethereum, and few shit coins and NFTs that I don't even have them in my MetaMask. But I have
Yeah,
some.
I get that. I get
Yeah, I
that.
have
Yeah.
some Bitcoin and Ethereum that I've been accumulating. Honestly, like it's for my daughter for a long, long time. So those I don't even know what's the average price on them. So those are out of the equation. But my personal account, it was sitting when I hit the 24,900. I was sitting completely zero, just USDT. I sold every single thing. And then, of course, you know what I mean. I mean, I've been in the market for a few years, and I see this thing just keep coming, going up and going up, and it's like, gosh, man, you know
Yeah.
this feeling?
It's frustrating.
Yes,
Yeah.
like
So listen, you got too smart for yourself, right? Like you have to always leave a runner,
I know.
and especially when we had that much evidence of strength, right?
Yes.
So it's just a good lesson. You'll have another opportunity to apply the
Well,
lesson.
now there is the bad
Is
part, Chad. I told you the good
what
part. The bad part, since then I've been trying to short, and I've been getting.
you know
Oh
why
my
you're
God.
shorting. You know why you're shorting. You're revenge
Yes,
trading because
yes.
you wish you were
Believe
long.
me,
So
you
just
are right.
exit the trade.
No,
Exit. So
right now I'm out. Right now at the moment I'm out. But I tried at least
good,
four
good, good.
times since we
Yeah.
passed the 25. I'm looking for any red small candle. Oh, that's gonna be it.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be it.
Mm-hmm.
It's four probably or five times. But luckily I never
Yeah.
get liquidated because I always go in
Good.
and I know exactly my stop. Like lose, it's already been there. It's either gonna be like
Yeah.
failing, then all right, I lost the 3%, 4%. But It just I have done it so far 4 or 5 times. Now my question to you, and this dip that happened right now, like you know, as well, you see when we dropped a little bit to 26,
Uh-huh.
I started buying up a little bit again, Bitcoin and Ethereum with no stop loss,
Uh-huh.
like just to start again rebuild the position. But my
Uh-huh.
question, do you think it's now a good idea to keep loading up a little bit more? I heard you, by the way, when you were talking to the
If
gentleman.
you're just hodling, if you're not trading,
No,
fine. But
no,
like
it's
trading, you
trading.
have to.
Those are trading.
No, I don't know. I don't think so. Not for my style. I think if I'm buying here to trade, I need a dip.
Well, I
Like
bought a little
I
bit at that, if you will call that a dip. When we dropped to 26 just a little bit ago,
when
like right now, we dropped to what, 20,
26.6,
26.6? Yes,
20.
yeah, I already loaded up because actually,
It's not really a dip. That's not really a dip. I mean, that's dude. That's the upper Bollinger Band on the daily. Like, come on, you've been with me a
yeah.
while, right? That's not a dip. That's not a
Well, I
dip,
mean, it could be like
dude. The earliest reasonable dip would be the daily EMA
true.
8. That's the earliest reasonable dip. So, you gotta. I think right now you are still chasing. You're off your game. I think you probably should step back and do some more observing right now, and really make sure you shed that emotion. You're still carrying it from before.
Yeah, for still an early little bit, if you will call it. But I mean,
All
it was
right,
a good.
trust
Yeah,
me.
I believe you. So you will think
All
just to
right,
give a chance to everybody, if you would say the next step to
yeah,
buy would be my work here. It's showing me 25,650. Technically, it's a good like a.
that sounds fine. That sounds
Okay,
fine.
all right. So I was reading
But
right.
manage your risk.
Yes,
I just
definitely.
look wherever you pick, manage your risk. But wait for a dip if you want to buy here, because there were so many opportunities to buy lower that reasonably people may be taking profit here. I mean, we're above the daily upper Bollinger.
All
So,
right, buddy.
all
I
right,
really appreciate you, Chad. Have a wonderful day,
thanks,
buddy.
man.
Thank you.
Good to hear from
Thank
you,
you,
Khalid.
buddy.
Good
Yeah,
luck to
you as
you.
well.
That was nice. He's a return visitor. Let's go next. We have I'll go Maria first.
Hi there. Great to
Hi.
hear your thoughts. Was wondering, what do you think about the altcoins? Would they continue to fall relative to the BTC?
Uh-huh.
And like all of your thoughts of the current market conditions, really, and do you actually get to really trade any of the altcoins now?
Absolutely. I'll try to trade the stronger stuff, and I watch the kind of generally. I mean, look at Mask, right? Mask is on fire right now. Man, that thing has relative strength, right? But so were there any coins specifically you wanted me to look at, or is it just kind of a generally what's my sense of what all coins are doing and what they might do?
A general sense of the market is going to be really appreciated because we've seen Musk is really pumping, Phantom's
Yep.
really pumping. So yeah, really general overview would be just nice.
Yeah, I mean, so it's interesting. I think a lot of it's going to ride on the weekly close for Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is really going to set the table here right now, because it's very likely. I think it really should have rejected earlier, and it didn't. And it punched right through that key level, 25.5, and we continued really up to 28K. I mean, that's unbelievable strength. If we stay up here till Sunday, I think it's probably still going to be the Bitcoin show. But if we kind of put in, if we drop back down to 25, 24, 5, maybe by Sunday night, I think that might be altcoin time for a little while. Because people will, the market will more or less agree that Bitcoin's going to now pause for a week or 2 weeks and take some time to digest, right? But you can't anticipate when that consolidation or digestion is going to come from Bitcoin, because it's so strong right now. It's a full up of week without a pause so far. So it's one of the things we've seen. If you traded Bitcoin long enough, there's times when you think it's going to pause and it'll just keep going. So we have to let it slow down. When it slows down, then we're going to see it really be alt season for a while. In the meantime, most of the alts will drift up, while Bitcoin's doing this, but they're not really going to have their volatility until Bitcoin pauses and money flows go back into Ethereum and go back into Bitcoin. And we did see a little bit of that with Ethereum. We have started to see a little bit of outperformance for the last day or two, but that's not really trend changing yet.
Are there any particular on your list that you're watching for the Sunday pump?
Oh, for altcoins? Yeah, I mean, I watch Matic and I watch Mask and LTC, and I'm watching like Quantum QNT and FTM and stuff like that. Um, I'll just watch whatever's generally the strongest, and there's always going to be ones that people are watching that I'm not watching, and those will come to my attention when other people talk about it, and then I'll start covering them. So I'm sure there's other stuff I'm not watching that there'll be great opportunities as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thanks for stepping up. All right, let's try to get some more folks in here. Cotter, I've already brought you up, so I will not bring up again. No offense, brother. I want to get everyone once at a time. Let's go with Gopal next.
Hi, Chair. How are you?
What's up, brother?
All great, all great. Always happy to listen you whenever I am with the Mago. And like you are strongest Chair out there. Like your fight against the cancer, the way you are producing your content and educating the community. I'm so grateful to you for that.
Well, I'm
And always
grateful
have
to
a
you
big
for
life.
saying that. I'm grateful for you saying that. Thank you.
Yes, brother. So my question to you is, and the what just Mary said, Maria, as you were saying, Maria. So you do think there will be the one more L1 or L2 rotations out there, out apart from the Bitcoin? And the second part is,
When it
uh,
pauses, yeah. When Bitcoin pauses, yes, but I don't know when that's going to be. I mean, it could very well
so
be
yeah,
here, but or it could just punch through. I mean, we
so more
gotta
like
wait for it.
Bitcoin will go to sideway for a while, and then that will
That's what we
rotate to
want.
some
That's the
L1,
best
right?
scenario for alts. Yeah, that's the best for alts if it goes
Yeah. So
sideways.
dominance will change, and then eventually dominance will decrease on Bitcoin side, and it will move to the altcoins. And also,
Mhm.
like, what do you think of these current macro conditions? Do you think that the contagious effect of all this bank failing has already
I think
gone
nobody
away?
knows. Nobody knows
Nobody
shit.
knows, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes. Yes.
macro is so useless. You
Yes.
know,
Yes.
you can come up with a thesis that makes so much sense, and then the market will just do the opposite thing. So I mean, it's fun, but it's just not. It's not that interesting to me, if I can just be honest. I know that's dismissive, but I mean, it's just supply and demand. And it's what the market will do. We have to let the market lead us, not the macro. And like the macro is like everyone's opinion. Like, what does that mean? The macro? It's just
Yes, brother, 100%. And my
But
question will
let
be
me
like,
answer
what
your
do you?
question. I'll answer your question. I think like the greedy people who run the world, they're not going to let like the banking system collapse. So I just think the system will stabilize sooner rather than later. That's just my like best guess.
Like easing, quantitative easing is coming for all of us to save us and to make us
That's too
rich for a
far. I
while.
don't know. You're taking my theory too far. I don't know.
Yes,
What I'm
yes.
saying
So,
is I don't see like an apocalypse of the banking system. I don't think that will happen.
cool, cool, cool. And Chad, the last question will be: do you
Yeah.
believe in superstitions
Santa
like
Claus? Do I
new
believe in
moon?
Santa Claus? Go ahead. New moon? Well, nah. I mean, I don't know if that's really a superstition. I mean, because look, our bodies are like 2/3 water, and there is scientific evidence of people being affected by the moon in some ways. Our emotions. I mean, people we think of ourselves as being separate from the universe, but we're part of it. I mean, we're made of stars, and so yeah. I mean, the moon. Again, where bodies are water, so I mean, sure, maybe there's a little bit of truth to like the moon's doing something so people are more emotional, so they're more rational. Yeah, maybe, but I mean, it's not actionable. There's nothing like that's just another fun thing to talk about. But like, it doesn't really like doing you're not going to make a trade out of that.
100%. Thank you very much. Won't take more your time.
Thanks
Like
a lot,
it's been
buddy.
7 years. Been trading on a mul cycles on a fucking dominance and rotations, and it's going great. But yeah,
Good.
21st
All
is
right.
coming. We'll
Well,
see over
find your
there.
method
Thanks.
and find your method and manage your risk. Take care, buddy. Thank you. Matt, thanks for being patient. Matt, we'd like to hear from you
Yeah, no
next.
problem. I just have like a little bit of a different perspective on the charting that I've been using throughout the year, and it's worked really well. I use the ETF BITO.
Okay.
In some of the books I've read, you don't want to use ETFs. You just want to use like the core Bitcoin price or whatever ETF you're using. But because it follows
Mm-hmm.
it perfectly, I feel like
BITO, right?
yeah. And it's kind of just like,
I mean, it's just Bitcoin though.
yeah,
It's not like an
exactly.
ETF. It's not like the
Right.
like spider ETF of
It
financials. It's literally
it
just
doesn't
Bitcoin.
diminish it. It follows it completely. So it gives me a different view because I don't have the weekends in the price. And
Yeah.
I don't know if you're familiar.
Interesting.
I
Yeah.
don't know if you're familiar with rising and falling windows, but if you've read
Of course, the
Steve,
Japanese candlestick theory.
yeah. So I read Steve Neeson's book, And I feel like the
Yeah.
bullish engulfing and the hammer, like they're very like mainstream, people know about them, but I found falling and rising windows to be incredibly just like profitable. And if you
You want to use them together. You want to use them
right,
together. Like with candlestick theory, you want to use it with Bollinger Bands. Like you want a hammer candle at the lower
right,
Bollinger. It would also be good at the bottom of a window,
right.
right? You know, that would be
And
support
so if you
potentially.
have like stock charts or something up and you pull up BITO,
I'm looking at it. Yeah.
on the weekly, like you can literally see. So
Okay.
when you were tweeting last week, like I think this is a buy the fear, you could see that weekly sitting right at the weekly bottom of the window where Neeson would say, because it didn't break,
Yeah.
it's support.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're
Well, it's always support until proven otherwise. So
right.
definitely.
So like a close below that high of the 23rd week or whatever that white candle is would have invalidated the rising window. But because it closed right above, it's like a typical trap that I see a lot in the market, and you just see that nice support off of there. And now, well, like as much as a lot of it's telling me there's like a 3-month bullish engulfing that the bottom is in, I'm just like my validation for going like full long and sleeping well at night and just like buying it and
Yeah.
not watching it would be a close above the falling window from May, which is very vivid in my head because I remember like
Yeah, it's right there.
I remember.
I mean, that's going to correspond with 2830K with the
Yeah,
price. I mean, it
I
makes
did the
sense.
calculation. It corresponds with 28,450, I think, or 28,500, call it.
I mean, it's generally, and you see it better in the price than here, but it lines up not only with that on your BITO chart, but that's a more or less the lows of the 80-day rectangle from May, June, July 2021, which many of us traded and we almost died of boredom.
Right.
And so that's the lows of that, and the lows where it paused here briefly again, 28K, 28.5 roughly. Yeah, I like what you're. I like that because you study this and also study the Shawbacker textbook with classical charting and talks a lot about gaps and the different types of gaps. Like candlestick theory is a good primer. You have to. It works really well too if you add other stuff to it because like in classical charting, there's a common gap or just a regular gap, and then there's like a breakaway gap. Breaking away from a key resistance. Then you have breakdown gap, exhaustion gap. You have all this stuff. But the more important point is whatever your system, apply your own risk method to it. And it sounds like you're doing that. So I think that's great. And like you have your method that's fantastic.
Yeah.
I think that's
it's just
good.
been like a different perspective. So I mean, this
I like
along
that.
with Bollinger Band squeeze, like I am trying to study as much as I can how to predict which way the squeeze is going to go. We had a nice one on.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody can.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. A lot of times that first move is a false move.
Right. Eric Crown is
but
very
it's so
good. Eric
contextual.
Crown has some really good data.
Yeah, he's solid, dude. Really solid. Yeah.
But yeah, just wanted to give it a different perspective. I guess it would be like caution until we fill that window or close above it because that's where a lot of those people on that May sold, and they might have more shares that they're willing to sell there.
Sure.
But yeah, thanks for letting me on.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you sharing. Take care, brother. Good luck. All right, this is what I'm talking about. I love hearing from you folks. It can just be me talking all day. That's kind of boring. Let's go with 10x gems.
Hey, Cheds, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Tell us how you're doing.
I'm good. First of all, I'm really grateful for all the content you post. And
Thanks.
I have a question regarding the divergences, the OBV negative divergences you posted today. Like historically, we saw the BTC dumped really bad. I'm coming from a point of view from a spot trader. I don't do futures or leverage trading. I only indulge in spots. So my question is that if we close below the weekly 200 MA, that is, I think, about 25.2K, below that, do you think that bouncing off bouncing off the MA is critical, or do you think that if we even close below that, we're still going to be bullish in terms of the future?
The weekly is really interesting. And I talked about it earlier. I mean, we're getting close, and that's the thing with candles is people try to look at like a weekly candle halfway through, and I think that's dangerous. I mean, we're pretty close. We're almost 6/7. I don't know what that math is, whatever, like 84% or whatever that math is, but I want to see it close. I want to see it really close above like 26K. Given that we punched all the way up to almost 28K, but if we, Closing above the weekly 200 would be a big deal for bulls. Closing above 25.5, really 26K, I think would confirm the bottom being in my opinion. It would be a range low. It would recapture the May lows, August highs, September highs. It would be a really big deal. I think you do want to buy in a retest of the weekly 200 from above. You want to buy now. You want to buy now in retests. We're in that mode where you want to buy dips. So whether it's the daily EMA 8, weekly 200, even like weekly 50 on like a real deeper dip. I mean, like, who knows? You always want to have kind of low ball bid levels. Maybe that'd be a low ball bid level, weekly EMA 8, weekly 50. So, yeah.
So
Go
in
ahead.
regards to alts, do you think that, like you said, that weekly 200 MA retest or the EMA daily, EMA 8 daily retest is a good spot to buy? Do you think for alts, it's also a good spot to buy over there?
Well, it depends on each chart. If you can give me a chart, I can kind of talk about it, but it's not going to
Like
be.
I'm talking
If
about
it's a
RNDR
render,
specifically.
okay.
That's
Yeah.
render. I'm looking
Let's
at
take a
it.
look at it. I
And
don't really
yeah,
closely cover it. I'm going to pull up
yeah,
the daily chart. Not terrible. It's stair stepping. It had a nice break out of it, like a 9-month range, kind of, bullish throwback middle of March. But it's still consolidating. Still below, the early February highs. So where would you want to buy this in a dip? I'd probably need to see it around like $1.15, $1.20.
yeah. Same. Like my bids are at 1.12.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Yeah,
Maybe even the daily MA 200. It hasn't touched that since it recaptured it. So that would
yeah,
be a spot I'd look for as well. Folks, hit that request
yeah.
button. There's only a couple of you here waiting to speak. In the bottom left, request to speak. This is thank you. Did you have anything else before we go? By the
No,
way?
thank you so much. Thank you for all the content you post.
Hey man,
Thank you.
have you seen my YouTube
Yeah,
masterclass?
I've seen all of them. Like
Did you see
I
the
learned
free
diverse.
Bitcoin live report I did Sunday night? Did you watch that?
No, I think I missed it. I'll just
Oh,
go and
come
watch
on.
that now.
I did my whole Sunday report. It's free. It's
Yeah,
linked on this Spaces.
yeah. I'm
It's
just gonna
awesome.
head down there after the
Check it out.
space.
All right, buddy.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.
Folks,
Okay,
quick
thank you.
reset. I am Big Cheds, trading blah 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 blah. I'm on Twitter at Big Cheds, at Cheds Trading YouTube. There's tons of stuff on YouTube. Free version of my book, Trading Wisdom, which has sold over 15,000 copies. It's really popular, which is great. I'm super proud of that. I have a free version of it on my YouTube at Cheds Trading. I also published a new book in December of trading quotes, 365 quotes from me. I think it's a pretty cool project. Super proud of that. Founding analyst, Bitcoin Live, best in class educational platform for crypto. I do it twice a week. Full market report. I've been doing that for almost 5 years. I do not skip reports. So you hear from me twice a week, no matter what. The Sunday report is free. So it's in one of the links here at the top of the spaces. I want to hear from you while we're hanging out. So hit that button to request to speak. Next up, let's get Mark. You've been patient, Mark. What's up, man? Your turn to speak. Leveraged Dubai. Mark, I'm going to give you about a 5 count and I'll move on. Mark?
Hello.
Yo,
Hello.
hello.
Can you hear me? Happy weekend, Cheds.
Happy weekend, sir.
Thanks a lot for giving all the content. Really, it's I'm also subscribed to your. It's Bitcoin Live, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's a very nice platform.
Thank
I'm
you.
basically in crypto trading since 2014. And I instantly got hooked on leverage trading on BitMEX. That was basically the first exchange, like like a crack whore from the very beginning. And I had to learn my lessons with high leverage and only going long without hedging short and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
after years, I developed a technique. I basically specialize in leverage trading only. So basically, I fully hedge my positions when I see that the course is going not my way. I don't do SL. Yeah. So
Really?
basically, yeah, what I've done was I was also like one guy, like two guys before. There was one guy saying, "Yeah, well, I was analyzing the chart and it looked like a squeeze." And you remember when there was this downward triangle and everybody thought we're going to squeeze at 21.6K. And then we long squeezed down to 19.7K, and everybody got trapped there.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that move that was on a Friday, I think, last week.
Yeah,
so I was
10th or 11th, yeah.
Yeah, and I was highly over leveraged.
A lot of people were scared. Everybody was scared, and
It was a horrible day.
I was tweeting out, panic is opportunity. I was tweeting out, when everyone thinks it's going lower, it's probably not going lower. You could smell the fear, and that smelled like a sentiment bottom.
Exactly, but a lot of people thought it's not going to go lower than 21.6K.
That was the ideal level to hold, yeah. And then we had the
ideal level.
below.
A lot of professional traders went long there, and I
sure.
was also so confirmed that the triangle's going to squeeze to the upside. We're going to do at least the second right shoulder, and then move down.
Me too.
That was the plan. Everybody thought we're going to play it like that. So the market makers knew that. They long squeezed the button down, and when I saw that it's going down, I fully hedged my position from 21.5K down, and I'm playing bigger sizes. And then when we came to 20K, I realized I bought back my short. From the profit of my short, I basically relonged to average down my price. And this is the way I trade. Can you give me an advice for such a way of trading? I mean, it works. And also,
it takes a very time consuming. You have to watch it all the time.
You have to watch all the time. You are.
Does that make you happy? Does that make you happy?
No, it's a super stressful
so why don't you
way
do
of
what
trading.
Makes so good? So that's a good step, is to recognize if what you're doing is sustainable and if it makes you happy. So now you're thinking, you know what? Maybe I need to make some adjustments, right? Then maybe there's a better method for you that allows you to maybe step away a little bit or kind of be less stressful, less risky.
But it's maximizing profits, and then when you average down your long and you're in a good position, I averaged down my long to
sorry about that. I got a phone call. Hey, I got a phone call. Where did I drop out? What did I last say?
If it makes me happy, it makes me happy.
You need to. If it makes it doesn't make you happy, and so you've told us that. So we know that. It could be that it's too big a position size, or it could be that it's just taking too much of your time and focus. You're not going to be able to sustain this type of an approach, right? It's going to eat away at you, and this just stress will kill you, right? So, whether you need to like think about it this way: some of the best traders only take like 2 trades a month, right? They really scout out really nice moves and they size in properly. They're scaling in properly. I don't like the idea of playing the market both ways. I mean, the only time I like that is when the price is right at a really important level, and then you can kind of ride, one of those two positions for a while, because you're trying to get your position almost free riding, like you want to sell half.
Exactly.
So you got to. Playing it both ways is kind of it's just going to kill yourself that way. So focus on making the most.
What do you mean, kill myself?
Emotionally, you're going to wear yourself down.
Emotionally, super, because you are like you have to be at the screen, because you have to size the shorts and you have to re-shorts to basically accumulate. They're different. They're crazy techniques.
So zoom out. First of all, move your time frame out. That will prevent you from over trading. So whatever you're doing, drop out a time frame a little bit too. I think that will help you. And then focus on the larger moves, and tell yourself you don't have to catch every move. You really don't. Wait for the bigger moves. Wait for the moves outside the Bollinger Band. Wait for the moves that go further than you thought they might. And reduce your position size. Scale into your positions, right? A little bit at a time. Take partial profit. Do all these things to give yourself more flexibility and redesign your approach to give you flexibility rather than rigidity.
Yeah.
All right.
No, it was an emergency when I saw this dropping. and it was basically 3 days at the screen. Basically, we
I
can
get that. I
trade
get
both
that. I
ways.
actually get that.
It's fucking horrible.
I get that
it's
when
horrible.
you know it's a crazy day. There's times where I actually trade 20 hours a day, like in the May 12th low, January 24th, February 24th. I remember these days because those big lower wick days. And it's the days usually too when people think that like when like one of the stable coins is depegging. Those are the best times to buy because like and there's great volatility for a while. So thanks for stepping up, man.
All right. Thanks, Chad.
Appreciate you, Mark.
Keep up the work. Bye-bye.
Thanks, man. Thank you so much. It's great to hear from you. Roast beef. Sorry, not roach.
What's up, buddy?
Nice to see you. How are you?
Not too bad, man. How are you?
I'm hanging, man. It's a beautiful day.
A question for you. Looking at Quant, it's been kind of stagnant for a little while.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of volatility with it. Was wondering.
Yeah, look at that tightening range, huh?
Yeah, I was looking to take some profits on an upswing. Maybe I was wondering if you had some ideas on some good take profit areas.
Well, I mean, I would take profit if it gets below like $1.05 here. I would for sure take a profit. But it depends on what you got in, and really, if you're hoping, looking to try to nail it. But if I step back out and I'm kind of looking at the larger trend, I see really just a straight down move from 2021. I see it bottoming here in June of 2022. And I see it kind of doing that inverted head and shoulders deal where it kind of breaks back over like $1.30. And it had a nice bounce and then it stopped. And so what it's doing is it's now digesting everything it did from June to October of 2022, right? That huge move.
Yep.
And if you look at it, it's still consolidating near the top of the range. So you can kind of view it as bullish consolidation. Now, if we zoom in a little further, I look at it from like October until now, it's just in a tightening range where you have a lower high and a higher low. And that's kind of getting you to kind of decision point probably here by April.
Okay.
You're getting close to the trend, kind of making a decision going one way or another. From here, I think it probably will continue up, most likely, just kind of given the momentum. But I think if you could drop below like 105, 106, I think you should be concerned.
Okay.
In terms of where you take profit.
You think if Bitcoin breaks 30, you think it'll retest its October highs or get up around that $200 range, or you think it's just gonna?
Oh, you're talking about if BTC breaks, I could see QNT definitely 160. It depends on where BTC would go. I mean, it breaks what? Where does BTC go, and then where do you want me to equate that to with QNT?
Yeah, Bitcoin gets up and taps on 30K. You think we get up into that?
I'd be 30K. Yeah, you might. Yeah, 150, 160 QNT maybe.
Okay.
Probably.
Cool, man. That's all I got for you.
Appreciate you, man. Thanks for hanging out.
Take care, Cheds.
All right, take care. All right, next up we have the list.
Yo, GM. I was
GM.
You probably already talked about this, but just what old Jerome is going to say Wednesday, and then what you think of one of the biggest airdrops to happen in a while. That's the next day after with Arbitrum. So I'm just kind of thinking, what do you think?
So first of all, I'm a kind of a shit technical analyst. I'm sorry, don't record that. I'm a shit fundamental analyst. Like what Jerome's going to do. I guess from my novice standpoint, he's going to raise it by a quarter. That's kind of what like everyone I listen to who knows about this stuff thinks. But I don't really have much insight on Jerome Powell. I understand what raising interest rates this quickly have done to the market and done to kind of the financial system. We're seeing that play out. But I just let the price kind of settle it down for me, because at the end of the day, when I'm making a trade, it's really based on what the price is doing, right? So I don't listen to a lot of like stuff about like what's Powell going to do, what's the Fed going to do. I mean, this stuff is fun, but I'd rather like watch. I'm watching some show. I'm watching whatever. I'm working on a book, or I'm playing video games. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't spend too much time on the fundamentals. So, so take whatever I say with a grain of salt in that manner. ARB, right? Is that the one you talked about? The new.
Yeah, it's on Thursday, the day after.
Is it the one ARB USD?
Yeah, ARB Arbitrum.
It's a downtrend. I mean, I don't like it. I don't like downtrends. I wouldn't really be looking to play this. There's a story and narrative that I understand, because it's an airdrop and because whatever. But if like that matters, then the price is going to do something, and so then I'll just play that. I just don't know. I'm skeptical of anything that is not showing me strength in the chart, right? It's all that really matters. And like all the money, like most of the money, 90% of the money I've lost trading has been on things I convinced myself of outside of the chart. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely, man. No, I
That's just how I
appreciate it.
approach it. I could be wrong. I mean, that's just how I approach it.
No, yeah, it's good. I appreciate your insight on that. Thank you.
Thank you, bro. Thank you so much. All right, we'll do a few more. It's good to have you folks hanging in with me on a Saturday. Next up, we have Bel Kadite. Bel Kadi, what's going on, my friend?
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. How are you?
English is my third language. I hope I can express my ideas in a way you
What's your
can understand
second? What are your other languages? What's your
them.
what?
Arabic and French. I'm from
What?
Algeria. Arabic
Okay.
and French.
Okay. Bonjour, mon ami.
Bonjour.
Bienvenue.
Look, Cheds, I just uploaded all my BTC at like 27.4.
Uh-huh.
I think that we just I'm bearish on the lower time frame. I think that we broke the market structure on the hourly, and we just visited the order block. I need you to convince me that this is the best decision in the world.
I can't really help you. Hold on, Kevin. Please, let me mute you until it's your turn. Kevin Benjamin, just wait till it's your turn, brother. I gotta. Something's broken. You have to. It's not letting me mute you, Kevin. So try to come back next. So Belky, Akadi. So I mean, I don't know if it's the right decision. You heard me. I don't know if you've been. I got to see how this weekly candle closes. Like, here's a couple of things to think about. Bulls are clearly in charge, but we're also due for some consolidation and double negative divergence in the daily, 2 unsupported new highs, by the OBV. We're trading at the upper Bollinger Band. I mean, it's a straight big green candle. We're heading it's a weekend. We're heading to the weekly close. I mean, it's logical to expect the price to consolidate, but you can't. I mean, when it starts, you may be right. But we're still, even on the 4-hour. Look at the 4-hour chart, right? Look, do you use Bollinger Bands, or do you have the middle, the MA20, the 20 simple moving average? Do you watch that? Like, that's where we found support back in the middle of March, and like that's support, and we're still holding that in a nice, clean, consolidating uptrend on this time frame. So yeah, you could be right, but it's still early. It's really too early to draw that conclusion.
I understand. I saw your post about the OBV divergence. My question is there a level that if we hit it, we resolve the OBV?
Say again?
Is there a level that if we hit this level, we resolve this OBV divergence?
We can resolve it with a lot of volume on a green candle.
Okay.
Or we can resolve it with the price. Yeah, it gets the volume on the close and an up close versus volume and a down close. If we can, it's just an index. It's like a running tally, right, of that. Okay. It's not like an RSI that like tops off automatically at 100, 100 and 0, like a forced boundary. That's called a bounded oscillator. It's an unbounded oscillator, the OBV, which is why I use it for regular. Or the price can come back, down to like 24K or something, and then kind of wait for the volume to catch up. So it would, but double divergence is no joke. But we just had triple negative divergence, so we maybe have one more high. Look back on what we did. We got one more high there in the middle of August. So maybe there's one more push, just because if everyone thinks it's going to top, that's when the market will trap you again. So,
Okay. Thank you, Chef. This is my question.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, man. All right. Thank you for stepping up. Let's get MJG in the house.
How you doing, Cheds?
That's good to see you, man. How you doing?
Good, thanks. Quick question for you. Was wondering, this might have come up already, but wondering if you saw the article on the ex-CTO for Coinbase who has $1 million bet that the price of Bitcoin will go to 1 million in the next 90 days, which seems a little crazy, obviously, but based on that, my question
is, just PR. It's not like PR.
Yeah. So what my actual question is, what is the earliest that you can see? What is the earliest time frame that you can see Bitcoin reaching new all-time highs?
Oh, new all-time highs.
So
I
70,000
thought you were going to say $1
essentially.
million.
No.
Yeah, you know, like best case or most likely case, even if it's bull. Yeah, it's a really good question. I hadn't really thought about this. I'm looking at the weekly chart now. Let me just riff on this. Let me think here. Maybe do that. Come here. Yeah, I could see like in about a year, maybe.
Got it.
That would be reasonable, maybe.
Okay.
You know, we do like maybe we're forming the head of like a huge weekly, you know, inverted head and shoulders continuation. Maybe something like that.
Got it.
Maybe I'll tweet that out for like, that'd be a funny one. All right, thanks, man.
Thanks.
Appreciate you. All right, let's get up Sphinx. The Sphinx NFT. What's going on?
Hi. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For the space. I appreciate it. Unfortunately, I just joined a few minutes ago, so I missed a lot of it. But I wanted to ask you.
I saved the best for you, so it's okay.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So you know, it seems to me that first of all, I have two questions. One is kind of technical. The other is just general. It seems to me that the last few days, even though there's sort of been a run here, sentiment among people I've spoken to is that there's going to be a correction, and I wanted your opinion on that.
It's logical. It's logical, isn't it?
Yeah, but well, I wanted your opinion on that. So, and what you sort of.
That's my opinion. My opinion is that it's logical to expect a consolidation. I mean, we have just been straight up for a week. We're trading kind of at the upper Bollinger on the daily. You know, we're at a really we're like right near a really important pivot level in the weekly chart, 25.5, 25K. You know, weekly 200. And it's kind of not only that we're there, but it's how we got there. We just accelerated up and above it now with a day, you know, a day leading to the weekly close. And historically, we get, you know, not always, but we often will get shenanigans or kind of, you know, crazy, funky stuff right before the weekly close, aka volatility. So I've just seen, you know, Bitcoin, as soon as I think it's going to do something else. So I'm always kind of waiting. And so I don't know if I answered that clearly, but it's logical to expect consolidation because a bullish move will need to pause and consolidate, resetting short-term oscillators, rebalancing supply and demand dynamic. And but I thought it would have done this at like 24.5, right? So it's more bullish than I thought it should be right now. So I've actually been expecting it to pause for like the last like 4 or 5 days. Hadn't really done it yet. So it's in that type of a mode.
Gotcha. My second question is literally regarding a trade. So, for the first time ever, I purchased Bitcoin on Binance US.
Okay.
And to my dismay, but by the way, I purchased it last night when it was at 27. I think the price was 27. I don't know. It was under 27.5, I believe. When I looked at the receipt, the transaction report, it had my purchase price at 28,111, and I don't understand what the hell that's
Slip edge or
about.
something? Did you market buy?
I don't know.
That's a market order. So that's a market order, right? And we got to be really careful with that. So market order versus limit order, right? You familiar with the difference? There are two, you know, those two, right? You familiar with those terms, or?
Yeah.
Right. So think about it. Limit order is like, listen, I want to buy this at this price, and like the market will fill you at that price if there's like a, you know, buyer or a seller, depending on what you're trying to do. Market order is like, I want to buy here, but here's the money, and the market maker, based on their like how much liquidity they have in the order book, there's slippage where you buy here, but the next like if you're trying to buy, the next person who wants to sell to you, but they're a little bit higher, so you just get the higher fill, right? Like you get all sorts of crazy market fills. Like just really try not to use market orders. I think that's you know, easy one to avoid for next time. Just use a limit order.
Thank you so much.
Of course. Check out the free. I don't know. Do I talk about market or limit? Well, I do it in my book Trading Wisdom, but there's a free version of it on my YouTube, Cheds Trading. So go watch all my YouTube stuff. I think you'll like that.
I definitely will. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Take care. Go to Acid. What's up, Acid?
Yo, and what's up, Sphinx? So this is my first time here.
Holler.
Yeah, that's a friend right there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
yeah.
So what's up?
But yeah, so first time here. They said ask me anything, so I was
Cool.
like,
Good
all
to have you,
right,
man. Thanks for stepping up.
cool,
Yeah.
cool. So you were answering her questions, right? And I got some ideas. So I was
Okay.
thinking, do you know about the Bitcoin halving?
Yeah.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. Because I was like, your prediction is kind of right. So I was like, yeah, you have to know something about that for sure. And then,
Well, it had nothing to do with the halvening,
oh
honestly.
yeah,
It's just kind of based on the momentum of the price on that time frame of the weekly chart and anticipating a series of moves and then pauses, retracements, and continuation. And you can kind of think about like a bullish chart will stair step, right? Well, it will go somewhere, it will stop. It will kind of pause a little bit, drop down, and then bounce off of like a prior resistance. It's something called the principle of polarity in technical analysis, where like broken resistance becomes support. So let me explain it this way: like, say that $100 is resistance, and it rejects, it rejects, it rejects. It breaks through and it runs to like 125. Right when it comes back to 100 should be support. And so I kind of looked at the weekly chart. I looked at it. I just did a quick like, as I called it, riffing, and kind of just penciled it out on my screen. I was like, yeah, okay, it makes sense here in about a year to then maybe break through, all-time highs. Nothing to do with the halving. If it lines up with that, that would be more coincidental because I'm just all price, right? That's what gives me all the information, plus sentiment too.
that makes sense. You're a smart cat. And
Thanks, buddy.
yeah,
I'm just having fun though.
yeah, yeah, that's good, man. But yeah, I was just more just go with the flow because I came up here and I was like, well, one,
Yeah.
I'm high, so I'm gonna just like just relax. But
Oh, dude, I'm all day. I've thrown indica and sativa in together in the grinder, so like
oh, nice.
that's why I sound smart. I've
Yeah, I'm
got
an
I've got
indica
like
one,
some
so I like you feel it
helpers.
in my voice.
Yeah. But we're just having fun. This Saturday. We're hanging out with friends. We're just friends, right? We're just hanging out. Check out my YouTube channel and see if you like it. And thanks for hanging out, man.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it.
Uh, appreciate you, man. What's up, Wabi?
What's up, Big Cheds? The Cheddar
What's
Man. What's
cracking?
going on, brother?
How's your weekend?
Man, I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm feeling pretty nice, man. Last weekend it was kind of like shit.
Yeah.
If USCC goes to zero, it's all fucking over. So, for the
Let me
first
ask you
time,
though, because you know what's up.
yeah,
Like last weekend, like I want to, like how were you? Because for me, I was like, I mean, this feels like it's got to be near the bottom. Like all that fear, or were you
yeah,
thinking it was going to depeg, or what do you, really, really, break down?
yeah.
What did you?
So my thought process was, usually I look at the three pull on curve, and
Yeah.
like when I won't get into the technicals, Chad, but
But what does that? Tell me
basically.
what that is. What does that mean? Like, what does that mean? Why? What's the function of it? What value does it give you?
So basically, like in the three pull on curve, it's like a stable coin batch, and
Okay.
typically when there's like a certain percentage of a stable that shifts towards another stable, and there's some like outflows,
Mm-hmm.
there tends to be like a little warning signal, like, oh gosh, like whales are departing
Mm-hmm.
from this
It's
certain
basically on
stable,
chain, right? It's
right?
basically on
Yeah,
chain, or
yeah,
is it more like?
yeah.
But
It's on
it's like
chain.
stable on chain.
Yeah. It's on curve,
Okay.
and some flashbacks occurred with UST,
Uh huh.
and the moment USCC depegged by like, it went from $1 to like 0.998. I'm like, holy shit, I've seen this
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
I shifted everything into Tether. I didn't
Wow.
even take a haircut. It was like the tiniest fraction of a fraction of a fraction.
What a move that is, huh?
Yeah. And then like my inner circle was like, yeah, man, this is probably gonna spook some people out.
Yep.
And like what was shocking to me was that like USDC was putting in hourly candles below 95 cents, and this is the
Yeah.
longest that it ever depegged. And
Yeah.
I'm like, well, man, if this isn't resolved by Sunday,
Yep.
something is fundamentally wrong here. And then what do you know? It's Sunday morning, and then all this Fed bailout news, yada
Yeah.
yada yada. Bitcoin is at like just under 20. I'm like, you know
Yep.
what, man? I'm just gonna park my stash in Bitcoin. And this is the
Mm.
first time that I denominated most of my stack in Bitcoin, because usually I'm an altcoin guy, right? I
Yeah.
like to play upside rallies in altcoins. I'm a long only guy, and you know then Monday comes and BTC starts its dominance rally, and I'm like, wow, I haven't seen this kind of action since Q4 of 2020. And as you know, Chad's, like it's been quite a while since BTC dominance his ran this hard.
Yeah.
And
People
so
like you, it makes sense. It seemed like it's interesting, the narrative, and narratives are interesting, but maybe not always actionable. But the narrative was, like if the financial system is not safe, like is safe because it's the answer. And it was interesting how all that FUD corresponded with the anniversary of Bitcoin, which came to be because of the financial crisis. And we
yeah,
were having another one, and even a guy like me with pure price found that narrative
yeah,
very interesting. And I can understand why people would have stacked into Bitcoin
yeah, and
the way you did. And that was a great timing, the way you sensed that and spotting that movement.
and also, like, it was the 3-year anniversary of the COVID crash. And like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
remember that night so clearly. It's like, all
yeah.
right, USDC is at 86 cents. And
Right.
I'm like,
It's nuts. It's nuts.
fellas, and I recommend
Right.
everyone, try to make 3 to 5 close friends, just active in the market as much as possible, so that when these events happen,
Pick the
you're
right
in the
friends,
know.
though.
Yeah, the right friends. And we're like,
Trust me.
guys, and,
Yeah,
and we're like, guys, this is like the COVID crash, right?
yeah,
But BTC is chilling at its 2017 high.
yeah. It's
Why isn't
crazy.
Bitcoin at 10K? And we're
Right.
like, I think this is when Bitcoin fundamentals actually have to play a role. Otherwise, it is fundamentally flawed.
Mm-hmm.
It was like do or die for me,
Well,
man. Like,
everybody
this
got
was it.
something too. Everyone got something. You had to bounce off the daily MA 200. You had the hammer candle on the daily closing below the lower Bollinger Band. The entire candle below. You had all these wonderful tech TA signals. I riffed on it. There's the free report BCLs out there. I riffed on it. I was giddy. It was so So everybody had something, man, to buy Bitcoin. There was all reason for everybody based on your theory. Well, we shall see,
Yeah,
right?
man.
It's going to be
Yeah,
interesting to
man.
see. It's stronger than I thought. I think this response is stronger than I anticipated. How about
Yeah.
you?
And Cheds, like, if we close at around these levels tomorrow, this
Yeah.
is the first actual close above the 200 weekly in
Mhm.
like way over 9 months. Dude, we're talking like almost a year now, right,
Yeah.
Cheds?
It
And
would be the
this is
first
a
time since August. And it was different context than the last time we did it too.
yeah,
Because that was in the straight down, and that was really just a clear mean reversion. But this is like a lower high break. Red light, orange, green, or stage analysis, like stage 4 down, then 1 sideways, 2 up. And this is more of like a stage 2 close
yeah.
than kind of the stage 4, like the going down. It's just a different context. It would be very significant.
A- a-
EMA's crossing too. Weekly EMA 34, 8 and 34. They tried to cross back in April of last year. There's all this stuff. Um, it's stronger than I thought it would be, honestly,
and
candidly.
and it's also been like, if you go when we bottomed in late November at 15.4, it's been a pretty solid uptrend compared to the move that we had from June to August, which was more like derivatives based.
Yeah.
And if we go back to like late December, early January, that
Mm-hmm.
initial push that got us to break 21K, it was predominantly through spot, and it was led by the
Yeah.
same exchange volume that occurred in 2019, which was through Huobi,
Mm-hmm.
OKX, things like that. And then,
Mm.
that Asia bid got transferred over to Coinbase.
Mm-hmm.
And when you start seeing Coinbase spot lead, you're like, all right,
Mm.
this rally could be healthy.
It's
And
retail, yeah.
instead of like the doggy coins and the meme coins
Yep.
pumping at the moment, which is usually indicative of the
End of
rally
rally.
losing
End of
steam.
rally. End of
Yeah,
movement.
yeah, we're having Bitcoin
Lead the
follow
way.
through and steal
Yeah.
liquidity. It's actually stealing liquidity,
It's
right?
that mode we've seen before when Bitcoin. So first of all, everything you said, I agree with, and technically losing 18K as we did, in November, and then we kind of got back up above it. It gave you a really nice technical signal, right, on the deviation and the false bear trap. And the point about like Coinbase and retail makes a lot of sense. We're in the mode where it was some April, was it 2021? It was the April lead up into that first high of 2020. Oh, no, yeah, 2021, where like normally it'd be Bitcoin pause and then everything else rips, but Bitcoin didn't give the other stuff much room. Like you get these brief, shallow pauses, like a swimmer doing the breaststroke. They keep their head down, or even the crawl, you keep your head down. You barely come up for a breath after 3, 4, 5 strokes, right? Rather than every time. And see, it's a different mode wherein you're in a straight down, where you have this standard mean reversion on Bitcoin to where Bitcoin pauses, then alt will rip. And then when the alt finish, everything keeps going down. Like when it's in this mode, it's just brief pause and rip. But I don't know if it can continue. We don't have enough volume to support it, right? I don't think I don't know if it can continue. It needs to
Yeah,
pause and consolidate if it wants to go higher.
yeah, 28 to 30 is going to be like quite a final boss. Like if this thing is going
Yeah,
to
yeah,
go,
yeah.
it's going to fucking blow through this
It's a big
shit.
deal. That's a big deal.
Like
But I think if we close here, the bottom's in for sure.
yeah.
On the weekly and tomorrow. That's my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, same here. I think for the most part um like unless a black swan happens or something, like something that like nobody can predict or whatever.
But if it does,
Um
though, we now know we definitely want to buy a dip now. I mean, if we get really
yeah,
scared
yeah.
later, we want
Yeah,
to buy
like
because
the
the
buy the
paradigm
dip.
has changed. You know? Yeah.
Yeah, like when you look at since we've bottomed, right? You
Mhm.
now have actionable price data where it shows, all right,
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
I bought this dip, I'm in profit. If I bought the next dip, I'm in profit, right? Like when you start seeing
It's stair stepping.
sequential,
Yeah. Higher lows.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like and sequential lower highs, higher
Yep.
highs, stuff like that. But we just had like our first higher high, now it's just a matter of like,
Big deal.
do we continue now? So
Yeah.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited.
Thank you, brother. Good to hear from you. Take care, Wabi. Good to hear you, brother. You've been patient, and catch you around, Wabi, and give my regards to the crew. Kevin, you've been patient. Let's see if we can get you this time. We've been trying to connect, and we'll get you next, Mayron. Kevin, are you there? Kevin Benjamin. I'm gonna give you about a 5 count, and we will move on.
Can you hear me?
All right. Yo,
How you doing, mate?
Kevin, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. One thing, I'm stuck in one kind of trade. I put some of my ETH on the Aave 2 years ago,
Yeah.
and I borrowed some money. And when the bear market came, I got fucked as a idiot. Sorry for the word. And
No, it's just normal. It's normal to lose money if you don't have experience and you're trying to gamble on it.
yeah, and right now I'm stuck in this trade. I'm thinking to just wait and let the money, the price of Ethereum to rise again, and then repay
Uh-huh.
my debt. But I'm not sure if this is the right approach. Maybe I should just withdraw my
What about
Ethereum.
half? What about half? Why don't you do half?
So I had 15 Ethereum with a debt of 10K. So right now is Ethereum, the total amount is 26 and the depth is 10K.
So like I can't how much it so listen, I can't really tell you one thing to do or another, but if you're kind of stuck in between with any decision, like I would do like here's when you take partial profit on a position,
Yeah,
right? It makes every future decision easier because future decision is a smaller percentage of your risk assets.
true.
Same as when you're super red and you're not sure, should I capitulate or whatever it is, like just sell half because now everything that's left is going to be easier to manage. It's just you're stuck in a position where you're not sure what to do. There is some value in taking, some profit on Ethereum here, given the move it's made,
Because
given the potential for Ethereum. I mean, Ethereum could very easily go back to 1,500, 1,400, like no sweat. Like, of course, very easily in the daily chart. It's a sideways daily chart.
okay,
So that's you're in a mess. Try to be more careful next time. But if you're stuck, not sure what to do, I would go halfway, and then it'd be easier to figure out the rest.
Okay, because
All right.
what I've been trying to do right now, it was like to, every time the Ethereum goes up, I will sell higher and then rebuy lower, as you said right now, so I can increase my amounts right in Aave. But
I would try to avoid risking more money until you brush up in your technical
yeah,
analysis. You want to learn how to study a trend, identify support and resistance, and then define your risk. Like with every trade, you have to define your risk, use a stop loss, and allow yourself to continue to learn over time. It's going to take a long time to get it right.
okay,
So check out Crypto Cred. He's really good. Check out my YouTube. You'll love my stuff on YouTube.
yeah,
And go listen to the spaces, especially. There's like 29 other spaces of people talking, question and answer. I think you'll like that.
okay,
All right.
all right. Thanks for the tips.
Thanks,
Have a good
Kevin.
one.
Thank
Ciao,
you, man.
ciao.
YouTuber. Take care. Maran, thanks for being patient, man. What's going on?
Hey man, what's up? How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you, bro?
Fine, thanks. I'm just curious about your opinion and take on Bitcoin daily chart. What's about Naya? What do you think about broadening formation and if it
Useless.
play out?
Broadening patterns are pretty much useless in classical charting. If you study
That's
them
what
and
I
you look,
want to hear.
yeah. But because I mean, at the end of the day, you still need to define your risk based on horizontal supply and demand. Um, if you're going to use like an ascending triangle has one broadening, has a descending, or I'm sorry, ascending. It's like an ascending triangle has a rising hypotenuse,
Mhm.
right? And then it's got the flat top, right? You can play the flat top, right? But playing the rising part of it's a little bit trickier because it's not a line. Like you think about lines, like
I
like
see.
a diagonal, there is no line. There's only a trend. So you're just seeing a general trend of price, but it's hard to define where the exact boundary is, and that's why you're not like making actionable trades based on broadening patterns.
No, no,
They're
no, it's just about swinging in general. I'm just curious about. I got you. See it. Really,
focus
thanks.
on key horizontal levels. Focus on
I
the daily chart holding above 25.5. Focus on the daily EMA 8.
This
That's very
this
important right now.
this bring me to the next question. Sorry,
Yeah, go
just
ahead.
in general, my level to be scared really.
Mhm.
It's let's say 1900. Do you have a level for really here? The shit
It's got to hold 19.5. It's got to
a
hold where it bounced.
19.5 for you.
Yeah, where it
Okay,
bounced on March 10th.
gotcha.
Um, that's the new line in the sand, right?
Oh,
Because that set such a kind of pivotal low on this bounce that needs to hold. If that breaks, it's in major trouble.
I got you, man. Awesome. Stay awesome, and really thanks for everything.
Thank you.
That was it. Thanks a lot.
Take care. Good to hear from you. Ba, what would you like to say? Thank you for joining us.
Hello everyone, my name is Ba. I'm from the Gambia, smiling coast of West Africa.
Well, it's nice to hear from you. Nice to
I'm
hear
a
from you.
Muslim, but I turned to be a Christian. But I don't have a Bible, I really need your help.
Well,
If
respect. I
someone
say
can
respect
DM
to
me and
everyone.
you help me with a Bible, I would really appreciate it.
So, what would you like to say? It's blessings to you for joining us today. What would you like? Is there anything else you'd like to say?
Oh no, not really, but I'm very interested in what
Okay.
you are saying.
Well, I'm really happy you joined us. I wish you luck and happiness. Okay.
Oh, okay, no
Take
problem.
care, brother.
Yeah, you can send me.
Thank you, man. Okay. Diego, it's your turn, Diego. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, Cheds? How's it going?
Yo, I'm doing pretty good. I'm about to wrap up, but I'm glad I got to bring you on here at the end.
Yeah, good, man. Me too. Listen, I'm a long time listener, long time listener. Always been sort of a fly on the wall, and a little bit hesitant to speak given my lack of TA knowledge. I've been invested in the market since January of 21, and just sort of. I mean, my day job is very hectic, very busy, so I don't really get a chance to kind of brush up on my TA as much as I would like to. That's why you've sort of been a voice of reason throughout all this time.
Thank you.
And I mean, I've been listening here, so I've been taking notes of what you've been telling people. I would say for the most part, my main questions have sort of been answered. I've suffered from I guess you could call it PTSD ever since, you know, the bear market hit, where I just saw my gains that I'd made over the amount of time that I've been invested just you know, fade away, fizzle into thin air. And I mean, I know what I guess I know what I should be doing to sort of re-enter in the market, even though I've been very hesitant. I mean, again, I've been a little bit traumatized with seeing everything just go up into thin air. And yeah,
I can relate to that. I get that. I mean, you know, every time I zeroed out, I write about this in my books and on YouTube. Every time I like emptied out a trading account, I went and read a textbook. I had to do two things. I had to step away and separate from the emotion. And then I had to like add a new skill set, a new tool, because I needed confidence. Because without confidence, you have nothing, right? And the shortcuts I wish I had when I started. This is like why I do what I do, right? It's like I wish I had I had a stop loss and not added to my losers, and never averaged down, and only played uptrends, and kept smaller positions, right? Because smaller positions are easier to
yeah.
manage. I wish I'd scaled in rather than jumping in all at once. I really wish I'd targeted like bullish continuation plays rather than reversals. I wish I'd almost pretty much completely avoided reversal plays. That's where I've lost 95% of my money in my career. So just like if you go like there's a free version of my book. It's got 18 of the 50 lessons. Like it's on YouTube,
Yeah,
and
I
like that's a
followed him.
great
I've been,
starter pack.
yeah. No. Both me and my wife, in fact, have been following them, and when we do have some free time, which is usually on weekends when, you know, we can get the kids busy or something, we sort of
Yeah.
get together and go over your material, which has been.
Oh, that sounds so romantic.
Well, you know what? We've actually been waiting in line sometimes to ask you questions on Spaces with a bottle of wine
That's
after having
hilarious.
gone through your courses. So,
Thanks,
yeah,
man.
no, listen, and like I said, I mean, just on a personal note, man, it's been really great just to, you know, go over your material, hear from you, and in fact, I've been a little bit, not depriving your private life or anything, but I've noticed that you've been kind of a little less active, and you know, we miss Big Jonas as well. I hope everything's all right on your end, but you've been taking a little
Thank
step
you.
back, I've noticed, from posting on
Well, look,
YouTube.
I think about first of all, thank you, sincerely. Yeah, I worked so hard last year. I don't know, like most people don't know, but like I published a book in December, and it was like like editing the book is maddening. Like it's so much easier to write a book because editing it is like I reread it like 100 times over a course, and you keep going over looking for a little typo and make it better. Because editing, you have to keep working it like dough, kneading the dough. And I worked so hard. I got the book out. I had a killer 2022. And I'm like, you know what? Like, I want to enjoy life. So I've been like taking classes. I've been working out like crazy, but like I still am on top of it. Like, so if something's important, I'm there. I'm trying to not over tweet. I'm not trying to like tweet for too much attention or
Right.
whatever. But like, I'm still not missing the action. I still like, I didn't nail the bottom, but I got in at 18.5 loud, on Twitter. I gave everyone a chance
You definitely did. I was surprised
you
too.
know,
It's like, fuck. I was telling my wife, I'm like, look, Big Cheds, he's turned bullish now. We gotta get in here. So
uh,
yeah.
I mean, so I'm trying to step away, and I'm trying to still do some YouTube, but you know what? It's like I'm not gonna. It's like when I'm looking for balance, and I'm looking doing some stuff and keep growing in
That's good
life.
to hear.
But I'm still here, and I'm glad you joined me today. So I
Good,
appreciate
man.
it.
Well, listen, I'm glad to hear from you and glad to have asked my first question, man. I popped my cherry. Happy. Good.
I'm so glad you did. And listen, like I want especially people who've never spoken before. I want them to join my spaces and to ask questions. Because man, this is what makes it. It's just conversations like this. So I
Absolutely. I
appreciate you. All right.
appreciate you. Thanks, Big Cheds.
Take
You
care,
too.
man. I am Big Cheds. I'm gonna wrap it up there. I've had a wonderful time. If I didn't get to you, I'll get you next time. I'm Big Cheds on Twitter. I'm on YouTube at Cheds Trading, author of Trading Wisdom, author of My Battles with Cancer, my cancer memoir. I'll send that to you for free. I'm re-editing it right now, though. Like the first version is a little bit too clunky for me. I published that in 2019, and I've now since then published two other books: Trading Wisdom and Trading Quotes. All three are on Amazon. There's a free version of Trading Wisdom on my YouTube, Cheds Trading. But I want to finish rewriting the cancer memoir, and then I will be very aggressively tweeting out, like, here, let me email you, a free copy. So let me keep editing it. But if you're pressed, I'll definitely email it to you. I'm a founding analyst at Bitcoin Live, which is a team of analysts covering crypto markets. It's a world-class team, probably, I think, the best team in the world that covers crypto. I've been doing a twice a week market report there for almost 5 years. I don't miss reports. Sick, vacation, whatever, Wednesday, Sunday night. There's a free report that there's the link here at the top of the spaces. My Sunday night, the one I just did on Sunday, is free. You can check that out. It's about 40 minutes. So thanks for hanging out. This is part of Twitter Spaces playlist. It's going to be uploaded to Cheds Trading in that playlist. There's about 30 of them right now. And these are really fun to do. I get to hit some buttons on my phone and kind of talk to you. I hope everybody's doing well. I appreciate you, and I'll talk to you soon. All right. Big Cheds out. All right, folks, thank you so much. That was episode 30 of the Ask Me Anything Twitter Spaces series. This will go into the Twitter Spaces playlist on YouTube. While you're there, check out market updates. Check out the Masterclass TA tutorials. Great place to start. And check out the free version of my book, Trading Wisdom, available on Amazon. My recently published book, Trading Quotes, also available on Amazon. And consider joining Bitcoin Live, the best-in-class educational platform for crypto, where I'm a founding analyst. When you sign up, you get access to the content from the entire team. So check that out. Check out the public blog for some free reports as well. Folks, thank you so much. I will talk to you soon. Big Cheds out.